Good morning from snowy Fenway here in Boston. And we've got yourself a real hot start to Championship Sunday. For the first time in the regular season, we've got Challengers Grand Finals on the main stage. And Boston, you guys showed up this morning. Give yourself a round of applause. How about you all in the audience? I'm Shift. With me, I've got Proper. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. We've got some known names on one side and some unknown names on the other.
It feels so good. I feel like I can barely even see you anymore, Alan. But yeah, Challengers back on the main stage here in Boston. We are slated to have a fantastic time. As you were already talking about, this phase black roster, all four of those players, you have seen them in the league just this past season. But across the stage, some names some people might not know.
That's the biggest thing about it, is a couple of players that are very recent to Challengers, others that have been grinding through it. We'll give you the full breakdown, the whole introduction, everybody, as we go. But just as a reminder, this is a best of 7 here, with, of course, the advantage coming out of the upper bracket that you get to control the veto process. And I think the most important part about that is, hey, they're playing on new patch here. So we're seeing new hills, we're going to see new setups, and of course, I think a lot of new spawns as well.
A lot of new spawns, a lot of new positions on the map. It's going to feel a breath of fresh air for you after casting CDL this entire weekend. Here is the best of 7 map set, and as you already alluded to, as far as the advantage that you get, you can see right there at the bottom left side of the screen. High-rise control is your one advantage, I suppose, to take it out. And hey, to be quite candid with you, no high-rise whatsoever across the entirety of the best of 7. This one's going to be very scrappy, starting things off with Karachi, then going to Terminal, Invasion, and then Terminal again is the guaranteed first 4 maps. And then we got to go to the distance, Invasion, and a wonderful double dose of Karachi at the end.
Yeah, it's been really interesting just kind of looking at a lot of the teams that have been storied as CDL players. Of course, FaZe Clan Black are coming in with that. Brack, Seed, Kremp, Exceed, all of which were in the league last year, if not further beyond that. And hey, the thing about it is we had teams like Team War that came out, full EU roster of former CDL players that only finished top 12. So it's been really strange, because I think looking at a glimpse, we're saying that the rosters of veterans were going to be able to handle the change maybe a bit better, but that hasn't been the case, save for this FaZe Clan Black team. They've looked good through the cup and this weekend.
If there's one thing you always know for certain, it's how good Exceed is at the beginning of the year. He's looking for the 3-peat to be able to win the opening tournament of every single game for the past 3 titles. And with longtime duo Brack. I mean, those two individually, even going in towards Modern Warfare 2 on that Iron Blood Gaming roster, were a force to be reckoned with. So you kind of slot in this Kremp fella, of course, former Kaiwan, former Volans, in case you did not know, and he's an absolute superstar. We got to see what he did on Breach Academy through Challengers last year, got the call up, didn't have the placing that he wanted. And what honestly can't you say about Asim at this point? Ever since he's kind of came into the scene, he's always had a name for himself. Very explosive player, very veteran instincts coming through as well. All 4 of these players are in a culmination of just how good the Challenger circuit can truly be.
Yeah, and I think for those 4 guys in particular, you look at their CDL career, and I think often when we see players that get a chance at the CDL and get dropped down, sometimes they find themselves as great players, but not on great teams.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, though, talking about lore gaming, there is familiarity with 3 of the players in one way or another playing with each other, but they have never seen a stage quite like this before. No CDL experience, and really not a lot of great placements through Challengers in the recent years. However, there is an X factor. Craze is brand new into Challengers. He played at the end of last year for just a couple of months, and I'll tell you flat out, if you like watching exciting POVs, that's the guy we got to lock into.
Explosive doesn't even start to talk about how good this young man truly is. Craze was that individual, of course, dating all the way back to that Toronto Open that we had last year in Modern Warfare 2. He was playing with Shoxy, he was playing with Dimensions, Mama Big Head. They got top 8, and everybody just kind of realized a little bit that might not be as good as that young individual. Very, very good on the map. It almost feels like he's been competing at the highest level for years, and he's surrounded by some really good players to help him out. One specifically of that man right there, Hamza, Glow Frosty. He's been having himself a whale of a weekend.
And that's the thing is, you know, when we started watching the Challenger scene as it was developed into it, you know, separating it from just being an open venue for anyone to make it into the quote-unquote pro league, Hamza in the Modern Warfare year was actually really, really good. I mean, he was by far, I think, one of the standout ARs in North America throughout Challengers. Just hadn't been able to replicate the same success way back in 2020, really up until right now. I mean, this is essentially a pickup squad. Not a lot of reps between them going into this event, but they did well at the cup, and obviously they made a long lower bracket run to get here to the grand final stage.
Yeah, they sure did. And throughout that entirety of the lower bracket, bracket run, it's been going through a lot of players that have actually seen CDL play and have been at the topper echelon through so many different times throughout the entireties of the year, taking down Spartan Co., taking down SGP, Omid Brooklyn, just some of the casual names that we have seen this Lore Gaming roster just kind of tear through.
The thing about it is this is a different caliber of opponent on the other side of the stage. And I think the thing is we've got a lot of statistics to look at over the course of last year in particular. The best mode for Asim in particular, obviously the Hardpoint. He was a slayer when he was in the league. And there was definitely, I think, moments throughout his history where we look and say maybe consistency was the only issue, where we didn't really get the same performance week in and week out. But when he's on, oh boy, he is on.
When he's on, he's hard to stop. And yes, to talk about Hardpoint, you could definitely drop some numbers, but it transcends even just the map 1 and 4 in a traditional best of 5. If he starts to find any sort of holes in the armor that could be across the stage from you, he will keep exploiting it and keep on pushing that envelope that much further. Yeah. That's just how good Asim truly is. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, and I think the thing is he's been super flexible over the course of his time in the CDL. Although you could say that really about everyone on that side of the roster. I mean, we've seen it from Exceed, we've seen it from Brack, sometimes pulling out AR, sometimes needing to pull out an extra sub. And then, of course, Kremp, you know, you look at what he was able to do with Boston. It was kind of one of those circumstances that his pickup felt appropriate, but then again, it just never really lived up to the potential that you and I saw a lot throughout the entirety of his year through Challengers.
Let's put it in perspective for everybody in case they weren't watching Boston Breach Academy when Kremp was playing him. This guy was dropping 40 bombs on Zark while Hydroelectric with the sub in hand.
With the sub,
yeah. He's a problem. He's a real problem, and they complement each other so wonderfully. Either one of them can be that Slayer. Either one of them can be that objective player as well. Not to mention the AR lineup is there to overwatch all these plays unfold.
Yeah, and I think the thing too was in their run through the upper side of the bracket in the pit throughout the course of the weekend, they were, I would say, very composed. A couple of maps that did go close, you know, tight to the distance. Maybe not full series, make it get to map 5s, but they were closing out really tight maps. And of course, the scenes throughout the entirety of the weekend over at the House of Blues, really awesome. I mean, we had the press box from Fenway last year, but this venue definitely sweet, seeing all the layering with all the setups.
I don't know how Boston can keep one-upping themselves when it comes down to challengers. As a baseball fanatic, I was in love with Fenway. As a jazz artist, I am just head over heels with the House of Blues. It felt really cool to be all the way up on the top floor there, just being able to give as much commentary to all the games possible and be able to watch the Passion Pit absolutely thrive. We had 2 different levels of stations. That main stage as well had 6 stations within its own self. The competition was never at a rest. There were so many good games across the board. I was trying to find the best corner possible to watch as many matches as I could.
Yeah, and I think the fun thing is, acoustic environments means that all the viral clips, people yelling at each other, is almost amplified more so than times past. So
it was.
It's going to be a fun one. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, not just in this particular matchup, but of course, extending beyond as we get ready for our first season of Elite. But fist bumps are out. I'm hearing some countdowns in my ears, which means we're just about ready to go here, Boston. Grand Finals, the Challengers on main stage. Woo-hoo, we love that. Karachi Hardpoint gets us loaded in. Boston, let's make some noise. These could be your future CDL stars this year. We've got Lore Gaming taking on FaZe Clan Black. Let's get it on.
These players knew that this opportunity was going to be on the horizon should they make it to top 2 in Challengers for this very weekend. A moment like this to showcase what you're able to do underneath the bright lights up on the main stage. As we already talked about, FaZe Black have been here before. Lore Gaming looking to make a name for themselves. Let's get it on.
This is huge for Lore Gaming. Again, they've been playing all morning long. Lower semifinal win, lower final win. FaZe Black loading into a matchup in a 4v4 for the first time here today. So will they come out maybe a little bit slow? Information for Asim over towards where Wiz is positioned, but quick trades come out, and with that, a chance for FaZe to actually jump into the hardpoint first.
In case you were watching CDL all weekend, P1 has not changed here on Karachi, just going to be smack dab in the middle through Rumble. Nice shots out of Exceed playing top bridge. Going to start off 2-0, but everybody's going to start thinking about that rotation over towards New. Just 20 seconds remain here in the opening hill.
Nice little battle back here from Lore. All things told, be back and forth. Kills coming out, traded almost immediately. Looking over towards our second hard point, though. A little bit of advantage for FaZe Black, looking towards the rotation. Being worked on, though, by Lore Gaming. A lot of it coming from the front side of Hotel.
Big opportunity here. Wiz needs to be the tip of the spear for Lore, just to try to get themselves a little bit further forward. But if you start finding yourself in a trading development, you're going to start spawning way far out, and it's going to set up FaZe Black wonderfully for some good time.
Here comes the next hit, though, from Lore, all of it from the front. Kraze trying to do what he can over towards Red. He gets taken down by a seam. Brack over the top, does catch a couple of heads, but can't find the damage as of yet. So a chance for Lore to break through, but just as soon as the precipice of the doors are about to be broken, FaZe Clan Black get a solid read and all will fall.
Kremp's just clearing all of Hotel. He needs to be checked, and he cannot exist in such a position. Now just repositioning at least through archways, trying to at least find more kills. The first 40 seconds has been good, and Kremp snaps on the whiz up top of the stairs. This man is a problem. 7-2.
Yeah, 3 in a row and a chance to try to open up the rotation over towards new. Again, remember, we're on new patch, so things are going to look a little bit different as we continue through this hard point. Not necessarily here, but a lot of the focus you can see for Lore Gaming, controlling that junkyard position, trying to force that phase spawn as far out as humanly possible.
Wonder what Brack's going to do once he soaks up the back of the scrap time. It's realistically looking like a 3v3 towards the bottom side of the map. Some kills start to come through, and from the position that FaZe Black are currently in, Wiz spawns over by Chicken Coops. He's going to have himself a nice little pinch if he wants it.
He's looking to get his clear out this top position, finds the first. Cramp on 5 in a row. Hell of a start for him. Has both weapons to play with, but instead wants to try to take down Kraze from behind. Looking for that cruise missile. Up close and personal, but Kraze able to beat him down. Shuts down the streak, but FaZe still securing a chance to contest.
A seam for 2. Big trades. Look at those spawns for FaZe Black. They're spawning closer towards Junk. That's going to put them in a prime position to try and reinforce P3. This is starting to turn into a pretty bad case scenario if you are Lore. You're almost forced to play for this 20 seconds, but you can't give up the spawns to new.
Looking a little shaky here with the ARs from Lore, just not getting themselves in good positions. And FaZe Black, from the high ground first, just kind of raining hellfire down into these hills, has worked out really well for their breaks. And now we're starting to see a very steep difference in the scoreboard. Going to be right around the 100 to 25 mark, and Lore need this setup as we head over to the new 4th hill.
And this new P4, just outside of Church, just outside of Tools, if you will, you don't see a lot of time. This is not a hard point that has been adjusted in the game of Modern Warfare 3 where full 60s exist. Very difficult, very tricky. There's a lot of different nooks and crannies that you got to try to cover out. Kraze stunned, bottom Church, going to at least take down 1. But these battles happening over by Bridge are everything. Kremp understands that, takes down Glow Frosty, 1-6 start.
And again, that whole setup for Lore Gaming completely foiled. And there hasn't even been a moment where Lore has been able to get foot inside the hard point to this time. Asim, a couple of doubles. That is an opportunity for him to work around the back. And another triple comes through for Asim. 10-9 for him. FaZe Black still keep the hard point open.
It is 102 to 28. And the SMGs from FaZe Black have a combined 21 kills.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've seen worse.
I've seen way worse.
Lore need to wake up now. They just got done playing back-to-back best of 5s. I know it might be early. It's not traditional gamer hours, but this is your one opportunity. You need to have a very good P5 as we move over towards this new Junk P5 hill. Very difficult hard point to break. Kremp gave himself a good shake to at least get another double, but nice trades coming through from Lore. They might be able to set themselves up for the initial 20.
We need a spark plug. We need something to get this Lore Gaming team a little bit more comfortable on the main stage, and it very well may happen here. Kraze playing in the backside of 3. Geo and Glow Frosty kind of assisting over crossing angles as we look at this junkyard hard point. First 20 seconds are good, and FaZe Black still trying to set up this hit. It's going to come around the back. Kraze, opportunity for him, able to find the first, keep his life. Good non-traded kill coming through with the follow-up from Geo.
Now with that spawn out for a seam, you realistically know that all this hit is coming through the front side of Market. It's going to force Kremp as well as Brack to play a little honest, and it's going to give Kraze the opportunity to play this corner and get more kills.
Well done. Good patience from the young lad. Brack falls, Exceed able to get out 1, but still Lore very planted inside the hard point. Good focus from Geo to the front side at Red. Exceed the only one left alive. A couple of shots, just Geo saying, hey, I know you're here, and that's enough for Kraze to push forward, find his 4th in a row. How on rotation. Okay, Lore Gaming showing up. We've got ourselves a match of hard point.
There we go. Now just about 30 points in between these two teams. Into the second set we go. Kraze showing up in a massive way up on this force free up top. Gonna find number 5 up towards top AC. Unaware of that one. Brack will take Kraze off of that spree, but 14-8 now for the young man. Geo trying to match his pace now up top as well, taking Brack out of a very key power position. But you have to keep in mind that you got to get FaZe Black off of this hard point time while also making sure that you could accrue more yourself.
Great routes being used by Kraze to get around the backside. And I will say again, for a guy that just turned 18 last year, only had 2 months of Challengers experience, his POV is good, but his decision making has really matured since we watched him play through the LCQ. Couple of trades coming out. Hardpoint goes neutral. 94 plays 131, 20 seconds on the hardpoint, and Lore still inside. The question is, at what point do you try to rotate over towards new?
It should have been about 5 seconds ago, Alan. That's when you realistically want to try to put a player on rotation. Even Geo off the respawn is going to elect to go through the middle of the alleyway. Big kill for Craze will at least soak up the scrap time there. Just about 7 seconds. 105 to 132. Trying to set themselves up for an early break at 2.
All 4 members for FaZe Black set up and bunkered up in the diner. Lore just looking for information. Can you isolate anywhere? Krent, backside desk, good for the first. And oh, nice shots from Wiz to confirm the trade. Now the 3v3 starts to develop. Lord not quite pushing the issue yet, though. And FaZe Black, once again, like we were here last time, just picking them apart one by one.
You're almost forced to be a little bit more desperate if you are Lord, just trying to counteract what these trades are looking like from FaZe Black's perspective. Still last player inside of the hardpoint will be Geo. Glowfrosty's there to at least assist him in some degree. But Exceed, he was frying from a position like this yesterday, even with the Renetti in hand. This guy can be a real problem.
Wiz trying to sneak around the back, and no, not gonna fool Exceed whatsoever. So once again, P2 dominated by FaZe Black. A bit of a mess though on rotation. Craze making things mixy over towards Hotel. So again, we're seeing Lore at least set themselves up correctly, but we have to start seeing efficiency on their holds.
Yeah, this rotation, this setup is everything. You cannot afford to get broken up, because if you do, well, then it's gonna go from worse to disastrous, and FaZe Black might just call game at that point in time. Lore set up first. Craze is actually going to elect to take this route through the middle of the map. This is timing, could be everything.
Finds the first for free. Kremp now stuck, kind of up creek without a paddle. Does actually find him escape over towards the backside of the hard point, but eventually figured out. Geo gets the elimination. Craze, backside staircase. Drop shot from Azim will take him out of position. But still, first 20 seconds good. Lore trying to keep themselves in the hard point, but now Wiz is the last one left alive. Glowfrosty on the cross, just there in the nick of time. And now it's just down to can you find the final kills, and Wiz will bounce out of the hard point to make sure that this hit from FaZe Clan back stays remote. Craze gets the final 1v1 opportunity, but Brack wins it, and the break is good. Possibly till 20 seconds to fight for it.
The Geo big trades, 40 seconds in between these two teams. Geo wants his back 15 seconds because you can take a look at the positioning for Lore Gaming. Past Church, all the way past Chicken Coop, setting themselves up for the rotation towards New. Again, not notoriously known for getting a lot of hardpoint time, but Lore Gaming slowly chipping away at this lead that FaZe Black hold over their heads.
And I'll say, just kind of looking at how things have developed over the course of the last rotation of Hills, Glowfrosty has really stepped up. Now at 11 and 13 after what was like a 1 and 6 start. So really nice from Hamza. As the hard point again just opens up completely neutral. Craze looking for eliminations, finds Cramp. Very wisely, values his life, doesn't want to overextend now off the regen, has a chance to kind of dance with the devil as number 6 at Exceed is still trying to play through tool size, but good focus from Lord. They take care of the threat, and now they can get in the hill.
Yeah, Craze, overextending, not a bad positioning to have yourself in, but the way that this hard point starts to develop itself, you have split spawns now for FaZe Black, 2 players now and towards the back.
Shots come through, and 3 straight kills. Glowfrosty, the last one left alive, and just flat out overwhelmed. So once again, FaZe Black doing a nice job of keeping the 4th hill not just neutral, but also finding ways to break for the scrap. Looking over towards rotation. Lore largely chalking this. Craze gonna give this one last finesse, but Aseem not to be fooled, takes care of him, no worries. And now we got a 3v3 over towards New.
Yep, Exceed's already over here trying to anchor out the spawns for Junk. Big trade to have yourself if you are in hotel lobby, so Wiz needs to value his life. Playing cutoff is Glowfrosty. Probably not expecting for Kremp to still spawn into the backside of Market, but the pinch is successful. Wiz finds his way in, but again, Kremp's in position A. 22 and 15 now for Kyle as he sets himself to move in towards the hill.
Here comes the route from Craze again. It just feels like he's always in the back line, and Kremp says, I gotta get out of here. There's nowhere to go. Stuck just in between these small shacks and huts. Craze eventually taken care of, so now the hit for Lore has to come from the front, and it needs to break this. Neutral goes to hardpoint. Split spawn situation, though. Do they get a read on this? Exceed quickly from the front side of red, misses out an opportunity. So now Lore have got the alarm bells ringing, but it's just a little bit too late. FaZe Black once again able to set up a break.
Maybe from that scrap time on P4, FaZe Black were already over 200 points. This 15 seconds could be massive for Lore Gaming, but you are still trailing behind considerably. Going towards the 3rd and truly the final set of hard points. Lore Gaming starting to wake up slowly. Craze up to 22 and 17. Geo's catching up at 21 and 22. It's not about a pace, it's just about finding yourself in the right position to be able to get the amount of time benefiting from the kills that are being found.
And think about the patterns that we've seen to this point. P1 has not really been a success story for either squad, but the rotation to 2 has been dominated by FaZe Black.
Yeah,
so now the win condition for FaZe Black is just numerous at that. A lot of work to be done here for Lore. Lots of obstacles they need to hurdle. Brack up top 3rd is the first one as well. And shots from Geo, good to take him out of the picture, but again, time keeps on ticking. 241.67. Wiz taken out of the picture, and that may be enough for FaZe Black to secure map number 1. Because anyone get here in time, it would have to be Glowfrosty, and he doesn't quite have the ability to dive into the hard point, so a very clean opening map 1 from FaZe Black.
Yeah, I'll say. And you already highlighted it wonderfully, Alan. It's just realistically that P2 rotation. Not once, but twice. And truthfully speaking, if that one ended up going to P2, it would have been thrice.
Three, yeah.
Yep. It's just tough to be able to see how you have all of these tools, you have all of these kills if you are lore, but you couldn't benefit from the rotations. It always felt like that FaZe Black were a step ahead on the rotations, being able to find the trades, get themselves more beneficial time on some of these money hills that we have on Karachi. And it was really showcased wonderfully there in a dominant map one.
Yeah, really clean stuff from start to finish. And again, you have to just mention it because the circumstances that kind of plagued a lot of the teams today. Again, a long bracket coming through, but for FaZe Black, not looking like they woke up slow at all. Right off the get-go, good control, good tempo, and you can see it here in the kill death pretty much across the board. Non-traded kills are good everywhere. The damage is pretty evenly shared, but the 5,200 coming out of Kremp with 11 assists, massive with an already 26 and 17 scoreline.
19 traded kills for both Asim and Kremp, respectively, for the 26 kills that they dropped apiece. Asim's a shooter. He was getting into gunfights constantly. 26 and 23 is no easy feat, but the 11 assists is definitely what speaks more volumes. Typically, those are closer to numbers of what you get from ARs, but to be fair, Asim is that third AR for the team. But Kremp always felt like that he was in the right position at the right time. These highlights will seemingly feel like a FaZe Black highlight reel, but in all reality, it's just the way that they were maneuvering across the map. They were exploiting what Lore Gaming were missing, and that was just the early rotations and being able to find any sort of value off the trades.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we kind of already highlighted Asim in terms of what he was able to do in Modern Warfare 2. 0.96 overall KD, but he had a 0.98 in Hardpoint, which may not sound tremendously great, but you got to remember what his team was and who he was playing with, and the squad just generally what the results looked like. I mean, it definitely felt like at times last year, Asim could just single-handedly carry his team through the mud. That's not required here with this FaZe Black squad, but he's still finding ways to put up great numbers, which is always super positive towards potential prospecting for a CDL team this year.
I think what's really nice is that flexibility. Just to put it in a broader perspective, is that Asim literally can be him, but he can also be that guy that also enables the rest of his team. That's why this team complements each other so well. Even Exceed, who's notoriously known as an SMG, can benefit from Asim, from playing those routes and getting in those positions to become an absolute problem. It's nice to see those Asim claps back up on the main stage as FaZe Black out of the winner's bracket will now have a 1-0 lead.
And I will say, it's one of those things that you kind of look at the comfortability aspect of this as well. Like we mentioned, for Lore Gaming, have not seen a main stage. Everyone else on FaZe Black, very familiar with the bright lights that comes with the CDL event. Maybe no more so than Brack. We've seen him do it in both challengers as well as what he was able to do throughout his time with Florida last year. 1.24 overall KD. I mean, that's a great number. I think in particular, this is actually what he was able to do in Search and Destroy. That's just by far his best mode, and that's got to be another key to success for FaZe Black, looking at a best-of-7 series here.
I think if there's one thing that we've known about Brack for all these years that he's been playing at the highest level is that this guy knows how to play his life. He's always playing those longer lines of sights, and I think that's going to be quite the issue if you are Lore, especially when it comes down to Terminal Search and Destroy. All the way back baggage, look at the exit from Elbow. Could be all the way back Burger Town, expecting for the push to come through up the escalators or vice versa. He had a 67% opening duel win percentage in Search and Destroy. You can expect for him to try to find same value here in this map number 2.
That led the CDL last year, brother.
Yep.
I mean, again, we're not just talking about good players. We're talking about players that were able to do it in the CDL. Just not quite finding opportunities to start the year there here in Modern Warfare 3. So we're into the Terminal Search and Destroy. Jumping over, again, this is all about can you find first contact and make good on opening duels. You've got initial contact out of Glowfrosty up the middle of the map, but largely speaking, this is all an A play, which Brack is here, finds the first kill and keeps his life.
Yep, good trade, slides on forward, Brack, oh my God. Calm down, Carson. I know you're happy to be back on the main stage, but now we're stuck in a 2v2. Bomb dropped in a precarious position, Exceed looking to flank from behind, he's gonna get trapped.
Good from Glowfrosty, turns the numbers back into an advantage for Lore. Listen to our words, not using your eyes. There we go, production W. Geo Glowfrosty stuck just against the seam, looking for the wall banks, not able to convert, stun out, finds the first. That was not a double chow. Geo gets costed off of it, and now you've got a delayed 1v1 with 37 seconds on the clock.
Nade doesn't connect. Asim's able to reposition, get a nice little reload. Bomb still dropped in a very precarious spot, and it's Glowfrosty that makes the move, now just sub 30 seconds.
This is a tough call. Glowfrosty wants to go down low. The longer this takes, the more that Asim surely thinks he's up top, but all the information's been seen. Do they get the 1v1 isolated? Sure does, and a 1v2. Whoa, okay, how about that to start off the Terminal Search?
I thought I heard something come down those stairs. Just turns to the left, that fence lining. Not favoring Glowfrosty whatsoever. Asim knew yesterday that that's going to be a spot that he could play in a 1v1. Even if that bomb gets recovered by Glowfrosty to play the retake over by that plane, a lot easier there as the later stage of the round, knowing that there was probably a lack of utility on both sides. A big opening round coming through from Brack to be able to find those 2 kills to stop the A push initially.
This could be an interesting opening offense here for FaZe Black. Do you just come out and just hit him with a haymaker, go quick, find some early damage, and really play mind games with what Lore is trying to do? Just keep him unsettled. So far, pretty patient. You've got Brack all the way in towards Burger, Kremp watching over the middle of the map, and then a little bit of utility play coming over for the bomb carrier towards A.
Already cleared underneath the plane, but it's a double stack inside the plane.
Good shoulder. Shoulder's
going to be thrown. Just escapes. Krate's going to throw a shoulder himself. Takes down Exceed. Sure.
Bro, that was a ballsy challenge from Craze. Finds the first, Glowfrosty stops the rotation out, and then Geo keeps this now to what would have to be a 1v4 for Brack. No bomb in hand, stuck over towards Burger, and he is being chased. Glowfrosty just taking away more space, Wiz from the front, and then the follow-up. I love the confident play out of Lore there to get the easy defense.
I think if there's one thing that you have to know for certain about Craze coming in towards a main stage matchup, you know, we keep on talking about how, you know, bright lights, never been here before, but it's nice to see that Craze is still playing like himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's not losing any of his confidence whatsoever. He throws those shoulders and gets those kills all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to be able to see off of the shoulder that was initially thrown from Asim, to be able to stuff, find that first blood, and then Lore just completely trapped them on their side of the map.
Yeah, I feel like often when we see players 18, 19 years old getting their first taste of not just overall being on the main stage, but playing in high stakes matches, one of 2 things happens. Either on the first place, you just are just scared absolutely and shaken up. But on the other side, it's like, I don't care who I'm playing up against. You think you're God's greatest gift to COD, and that may be the mentality for Craze. First blood good, though, for FaZe Black. We go into an early 4v3, bomb left in spawn.
Very forward approach defensively coming through for FaZe Black. They're actually starting to infiltrate just in front of Dreams. Brack's just going to be playing this 1-for-1 position. It's bait play, seeing if Kremp can get anybody to maneuver forward.
Brack in a really sneaky spot. Does get stunned. Delays his engagement just a touch. Trade is in, but the overwhelming force of FaZe Black does take care of the bomb, and that will leave Glowfrosty now by himself. Again, you think back to like when he was playing in Modern Warfare 2019, he was good in situations like this, but this time rooted into place by stuns, and that'll be an easy follow-up for FaZe Black.
Really good in Modern Warfare 2019, but he doesn't have an ACOG scope on an AX50 anymore.
Dude, that was nuts.
That's how I'll always remember. I'll always remember Glowfrosty for that one.
Arclock Peak.
Yep, Arclock Peak, ACOG scope on the AX50. Revolutionary.
That guy was different, man.
First blood is everything. It just allows that forward approach inside of elbow. Great response coming through for FaZe Black in that moment, not waiting for the push to come through. That's something you necessarily need to do when you are playing up against a very aggressive SMG in Craze. You need to shut him down before he can really start to get hot.
And just kind of looking over the results, especially in the last couple of hours here, Lore Gaming has been blowing teams out of Search and Destroy. We're talking 6-1, 6-2s. Then they had a 5-1 comeback yesterday or something of that nature. So, I mean, this is a well-versed Search and Destroy team. Craze not going to be baffled by Asim's opening shoulder. Holds his position, but Exceed over the back. That's free. Oh, with the pistol gets bolt that long range. And that'll open up the A site completely for FaZe to get a plan.
Cheeky. Again, it's just from Asim throwing that shoulder. Allows Exceed to drop all the way down low. That early stun to at least clear bottom of glass. Gets you in that position. Now the retake in a 2v3. Geo, Glowfrosty have so much map to clear.
A lot of work to be done. Geo, anything he finds would be great, but unfortunately drops off AC right into the waiting arms of Kremp. So Glowfrosty again finds himself in a deja vu round here. 1v3 from almost the exact same position. Double stack over towards the plane. First idea for Glowfrosty is, can I take care of Kremp, who is just not going to move from this position at all. Time ticking, 17 seconds, got to go. Find this information. The double stack inside the plane leaves him no opportunity whatsoever.
Business as usual. Little adjustment coming through there that time around for FaZe Black. Instead of having 2 players through elbow, they clear the stun underneath bottom glass. They allow Exceed to get behind the plane, and Asim throws that same exact shoulder, catches both players almost looking, but Craze's timing couldn't get through the elbow in time. You saw he wanted it, but by that point in time, Exceed had already pounced in and was able to find that double kill with the pistol. Great response coming through as well with that post plant. Kremp making sure that he can still play cutoff in the middle of the map.
Please tell me the one guy clapping in the audience right there was looking at Exceed and thinking that it was Adam Assault. Yep, I see you. This is a smart audience here in Boston. You guys also root for the weirdest things. Never change, God. Brakasim, first 2 kills looking good with this. A little aggression here from Lore over towards the B side. Doesn't really work out all that well. Bomb had been strategically left over towards Library, but as you start to see Brak move up the map, there is not a lot of opportunity for Lore to escape this play. No,
none whatsoever. The pinch comes in. It is a quick and decisive round coming through for FaZe. And that was going to be a little bit of a pace change. You saw, yeah, the bomb was dropped over by Bookstore, but regardless, they wanted to try to aggressively push 3 players strong all the way past inside of that planter's area, be able to get control of AC. Not gonna work, not that easily. Not when you have a very good setup defensively from FaZe.
Dude, there is something to be said about watching these 4 guys on camera communicate with one another.
Yeah.
So much experience, and often there can sometimes be a situation where there's just too many chefs in the kitchen. It doesn't really look like that at the moment.
No.
It looks like there's so much trust and coordination going on with FaZe Black. 7-4 from Brak. Again, just living up to that S&D KD. Here comes a little tempo switch, but Geo shuts it down, and here's Lord Gaming trying to get their second round on the board.
All right, there we go. Let the boys cook. Brak got a lot of good damage off of that nade. I'm not gonna lie, I was about to have flashbacks to Exceed's 1v3 versus SGP yesterday, albeit on a different map. It got pretty damn close, but yeah, try to go and match that pace differential, trying to fast execute over towards B. Didn't really work out in that manner of a time, and Geo's a name that we haven't really talked about throughout this broadcast so far, but he's a straight shooter, and if you just give him very easy chows like that all the way across Cafe, well, he'll beam you.
Yep, and I think he really impressed us by the end of the year as well. Top 4 at Toronto. That first time he's really impressed us on LAN. He's always looked good online, but really, I think that was a marquee moment for him.
Yeah.
So, does that continue further to try to extend this search and destroy? Must-win round here, you feel like, if you're Lore. Taking their time a little bit, just trying to figure things out, but Craze will get picked over towards the A side of the map, and Kremp once again just kind of steps forward underneath this plane terminal.
Hey, you can just reposition underneath bottom glass and just kind of wait for the push that can end up coming through. It calls for the reposition for Brak, who's now all the way in the backside of the plane. Cramp's just going to be playing off that point of contact. Bomb recovered by Wiz. Some shots coming through from Glowfrosty out of the Bookstore, and Asim just playing with his food.
You can see Lore trying to isolate Asim at all costs. Try to get this back to a 3v3, but heads up play keeps himself alive. Exceed just throwing a couple of tags here and there. Glowfrosty is sneaking forward. Does Exceed get a read in this, or is he too baited out by Geo's shoulders? It looks like that indeed was the case. So now an opening towards B. Asim has to rotate over to Eskies to try to keep this safe, and he also gets checked by a stun.
Wow. Late stun comes in.
Glowfrosty
knows. Kremp, though, off of the very long-range shots, ends up catching off Wiz. They wanted that to be the bait play. They wanted the bomb to go over towards A, but they're not taking it whatsoever. Down low, underneath the plane, leaves Kremp now in a 1v2. Trying to find the trade. Didn't see that the bomb was dropped. Might not matter. 12 seconds remain.
Oh, no. It's got to come down to the kill, you'd think. Glowfrosty wrapping late, has collected the bomb, but he just can't get there in time. Kremp making sure there's no plan over towards A. He's tucked into a corner. There's the cross, and Kremp will sit there and say, sorry, bud, no time. We're going to go to a 5-2 tally. So unfortunate the bomb dropped where it did, when it did.
A little bit of a misfire coming through. Again, FaZe Black, just because you took down one player over by planters, it only calls for one player to rotate from bottom AC, and that was Asim, just to completely shut it down. He ended up only seeing at least one player, but got the communication from his teammate that dropped that there was, in fact, 2. But the 2 players still holding inside the plane, that was just about everything, especially for Kremp. Taking down Wiz, shutting down what was supposed to be the bait push over towards A. FaZe Black now up on that point.
Got to find 4 in a row, and there's just really haven't been convincing rounds that would lead you to believe that there are good patterns and good plays left in the book here, possibly for Lore. Double stack up close and personal. This time Asim not going to be able to get away with the shoulders. Exceed avoids the stun, so just the 1 kill for now. And Lore will just hold their positions and keep their numbers.
Craze playing very, very close. Wiz up top inside the cockpit. A little bit of a reposition coming through from Exceed. What is he supposed to do in this position?
Not again. He gets around the back. Come on, someone's got to watch it. Kremp on the other side of the map also takes care of one, leaving Glowfrosty by himself. And oh no. For a 4v3, what looked to be a perfect setup here, the bomb literally in your left nostril. You can't let Exceed come around the backside again. 6-2 tally, and FaZe find themselves up 2-0.
Not that I've been there before, but I'm pretty sure you never want to have a bomb up your left nostril. Here, it's very bad for your health. However, that is an issue within its own self. Again, we keep talking about how good all these guys are together, but man, when you just have adjustment after adjustment, Exceed got away with highway robbery twice.
Yeah.
Over toward that A-bomb side, and it's all off the bait play from Asim. Yeah, he only wanted to throw a shoulder. He didn't want to die, of course, but Exceed one round, flanks up through the back ladder, double kill with the Renetti. That time around with the MCW, comes up through the middle of the ramp. There was nobody top AC from Lore to watch that push go down.
Tough scenes, man. And for a game mode that, again, just kind of looking at the results where we had them, it looked like Lore was going to kind of, bake their bread and butter it on their search to destroy. Did not come through here. Another great performance out of Brack, 9 in 6. I mean, the damage across the board is unbelievable.
Yep.
Looking at Exceed and Kremp also getting over the 1,300 mark. 2K damage for the loss from Geo. It just came down to the kills that they had in the openings. Didn't get converted, and that's tough.
The biggest difference for me, again, besides looking at the ever so aesthetically pleasing of the assist column for what is technically Lore Gaming at the top of 4-3-2-1 is catching my eye. However, it's all the damage that was being followed up by FaZe Black. Comparatively to all the damage that Geo was laying down, there was no follow-up whatsoever.
Yeah, the veterans to this point have looked really calm, really complete, and maybe the jitters on the other side of the stage with the lesser-known players is starting to build up just a touch. But Control, coming up next in this best-of-7 series, may allow an opportunity for a bit of a reset. FaZe Clan Black looking like they're in the driver's seat, but things could still very much so change if they can find ways to just keep tabs on Exceed. We'll head back to the backside of the break. Don't go far, more challengers after this. Welcome back, friends, family, all you crazy COD fans, to the Challengers Grand Finals here at Major 1 in the MGM Music Hall. So far, it's been all FaZe Black with 2 very comfortable opening maps. But on the other side of things, hey, we're evaluating players here, I think, maybe more than anything else. And I'll say, for an 18-year-old, not a lot of time to play in Challengers last year. He really rose to the occasion, but Craze has already, I think, really impressed us as a possible SMG option for some squads.
I think it's one of those things when you're looking at the consistency across those 4 players for lore. There's only one player that does stick out to me that has been looking the same, not only just online, but through all of this weekend as well, through Cup #1 as well, and that is, in fact, Craze Kun. That guy is absolutely gross on the sticks. He is confident, to say the least. If you're throwing shoulders towards some of these players that are across the stage, he's not skipping the beat. He's up there smiling and laughing. You would never guess that this man is down 0-2.
And this is the important part about it, is this squad for Lore Gaming is, for all intents and purposes, a bit of a pickup. Craze was playing with the Boston Academy team only a couple of weeks ago. Then the game changed. So after he gets dropped, he has to relearn the game with new players. And so far, he's been looking real solid. And it's one of those things that, talking with Studdy in particular, this is perfect timing, he's kind of like said, like, this is my son. Like, literally, he's been helping coach him in the Stud Fam age for like the last 4 years. And it's awesome to see that come up story. We often see new players that turn 18, have a lot of buzz around them. And so far, Craze, a long lower racket run, also showing up at the grand finals. Really impressive stuff.
Shout out Papa Studdy, man. This guy is an absolute monster on the game through all of his placements. I mean, the average placement, yeah, not the sexiest, but you got to remember that he only turned 18 towards that Toronto Open, and it was in that exact event when he was playing with Shoxy and co that he started really enacting that his ability to play the game. He got top 8 at Toronto, barely missed out on the LCQ. Yeah, expect for Craze to shoot towards the stars.
It's one of those things, like, I know a lot of people have talked about like the Miami Heretics team being an exciting team to watch in the CDL. Craze and Dimensions and co that were going into that LCQ run,
that was some of the most fun watching Call of Duty I've ever had in my life.
It was just really mixy, really scrappy Call of Duty. It's just one of those things you watch a POV and you say, yeah, this guy definitely has the potential. On the other side, though, you want to talk about someone who's really showcased his flexibility. Kremp has looked really solid with a sub here today, and his stats last year with Boston were actually really good as well. So don't sleep on the fact that this FaZe Black squad can also bring some electricity as we jump into our invasion control, and Lore Gaming off spawn, all focused towards B.
If it was Brack and the Search and Destroy that led a category in the CDL last year, yeah, Kremp could be a real issue when it comes down to these opening engagements. Control, opening breakoffs are just about everything. Big 2 kills to respond for the opening onto FaZe Black. Kremp's going to get cut down as well. And how about that start out of Lore?
I love this opening breakoff. A little 3-for-1 bait saying, hey, look at us, we're all going B. And then Glowfrosty just kind of lurks his way into A off respawn. The rest of Lore here to meet him. First tick of progress is good. Brack's seen over the top. No worries for Geo. Now the double stack starts to come through. Stuns are landing. No trophy systems yet. Here comes the hit over the top of the stairs. Acid able to find one. Glowfrosty runs out of ammunition, but the pistol comes out, and now it's just down. Can Acid work his way back into solo, retake the zone? Glowfrosty still with the pistol, wins the first, switches out to an MCW, not able to get the 5th, and FaZe Black will regain control of the 3rd tick at A.
The moment that I saw Hamza drop that trophy, I felt like that was about to be the 3rd segment, just gone over towards Lore. In that moment, he was truly Glowfrosty. 4-1 though, gonna be able to find those 2 segments of progression. That allows them to spawn parallel over towards B. That 2nd segment looking good to get locked in.
And the kills are looking awesome. I mean, this is a hell of a break off from Lore Gaming. 2nd tick of progress will be secured. FaZe Black getting a lot of control. Keep your eye on number 8 in white. Brack is going to be making sure no one gets out of spawn safely. But the extra 60 seconds looking like a guarantee here. FaZe Black not really making a lot of efforts to try to recontest, and they will chalk this up and just play for exits.
And Wiz is going to be trapped in this 1v1, you feel like, for an eternity as Brack takes him down off screen, of course. But with those 3rd segments being captured over by B, plus a 7-life lead, Lore Gaming adds 60 seconds on towards the board. That said, you still have to get your way over towards A. Just because you need that 1 segment doesn't mean that you have to cross the entirety of this map and clear so many different buildings just to sniff this A zone again.
You can see the 2 players off spawn are still on the hunt, trying to find Brack. Glowfrosty, Craze working together to also make a bit of a mess over towards FaZe's spawns. Brack tucked in a corner, predicted and dealt with quickly. Here comes the attempt to make their way back on towards the zone. 1 stack and 1 set of kills will by far absolutely do it. And yeah, Geo making sure no one comes through. A seam over the back, only able to find 1. The 3rd tick of progress will be locked. Can I just say it one more time? That was a sick break off for Lore Gaming.
Yeah, I'll say. all the way through the middle of the map. We've been seeing that in the Challengers Pit all weekend long on Invasion Control. You go through the middle of the map, you find the picks, you lean towards A, S, and D. You don't find the picks, you end up getting trades, just go over towards B. It's a wonderful response coming through from Lore Gaming. And now we got to start asking ourselves, if you could play the opening round of Control like that, where was that map won? But still, a lot more COD left to be played. Can you respond with an offense here on Invasion Control? Very difficult to do so if you are FaZe Black.
I'll be curious to see if Lore's going to try to keep this tempo up and just dominate mid through map. Maybe make FaZe Black feel a little bit unsettled for the first time here on the main stage. FaZe Black, very similar break-off, playing over towards Dark Alley, looking over towards B. Kray's first blood is good. And the rest of FaZe just kind of waiting for someone to overextend, but no one's to be found. Lore just kind of holding their positions.
No, just turtling up and towards the back. Gonna have to force the issue. Cramp finds one, Exceed at least for the trade. Glowfrosty did take down his Seam. That's not gonna stop FaZe Black from sliding on over towards the B control zone. Cramp's gonna beat down Wiz towards the middle of the map. Now they have full coverage over by this B control zone, but the stack's not in. They want more kills.
Yeah, looking good as Brack is just playing topside treehouse, making sure no defensive members can freely get over to contest. It would have to come along the long back side of this Dark Alley, and Brack is getting a lot of information, just can't make much good out of it. And like you mentioned, no stack here means only the first tick has been locked, and as Lore Gaming have reclaimed mid-map, there's a chance they could very well recontest this B zone.
Kray's positioning on the map as well, similar to Brack's in the previous round, is going to force him to spawn closer towards Ice Cream inside of that palace wall. So big kill to find if you are Brack, big trades to collect for yourself as well. Last defender over by this B control zone will be Geo, but Glowfrosty's just cutting you down in the middle of the map.
Not able to quite confirm the cruise missile, but a 13-3 start. By far the best news for Glowfrosty to this point in this grand finals. Geo's double also makes sure that FaZe Black's next attempt towards B is limited in numbers. Wiz over the top, lots of damage, can't confirm the kill, but wants blood. Able to at least find one. Glowfrosty up top would have to make the decision. Do I commit from this high ground spot to try to contest this? And we may have to wait to see if Geo can get an opening, which he does. Should be a go call for Lore to try to reclaim the zone.
Forces Exceed off the zone. He's got to reposition to go up top though. Geo gets the comp from his team. Won't be able to collect on the kill now, just sub 25 seconds, 4 life lead for Lore Gaming on the defense. FaZe Black seemingly trapped on their side of the map.
Yeah, really good route from Krays. Once again, just use the mid-map to get over towards the offensive spawns. We have a 17 playing 12. Clock will stall 21 seconds with focus for FaZe over towards the A zone. The only opportunity they have to try to extend this round at the moment. And it is a double stack. Hold on a second. First tick of progress is good. Second rapidly being earned. But here comes the full flood from Lore. Trying to get these players out before that second tick gets locked. It does get secured, but the kills are good. We've got a 14v8, and the only chance for FaZe is to get back over to B.
Gonna be able to get that third segment. But Lore have double the amount of lives. And winning that offense means that they have the ball in their court.
Yep.
Just set up through the middle of the map, play for some exits. Don't allow yourself to get fully wiped. And you should be able to walk away with a 2-0 lead on this control.
FaZe have to work through the now recently captured B zone. And again, like you mentioned, with only 6 lives, this could get really costly. But 3 straight kills come through. Remember, it's only 1 segment that they need.
Yeah.
If they can get onto A with just even 2 members, it could work out great. ASIM will be able to find the first, almost lock things down for a double. Kremp maybe thinking he's got an opportunity, but the stun, oh, so well placed. Has an opportunity for Lore to try to trap Kremp before he can get over towards A. Assistance though from Brack. 1v1 possibly for the round, but Glowfrosty beats him before Brack can get the gun up, and now it's an 8v1, and ASIM is just completely trapped over towards bridge side.
Okay, so you're pretty goated, but I don't think a 1v multiple situation when it's double digits is on the cards. So 5 segments are all FaZe are going to be able to get for themselves. Not good enough to match the offensive pace that was Lore Gaming. Not to match the offensive pace that is just Glowfrosty. He is 18-4 for crying out loud.
Huge start.
He's leading the lobby, and that stat nonetheless, that is insanity within its own right. So FaZe need to reverse sweep this control. They want to take a 3-0 lead here in this grand finals, but Lore Gaming have shown up here after that break.
What a momentum shifter this could be to come out and 3-0 in Invasion Control with maybe 2 offenses.
Yeah, also.
That will get your confidence brewing. Similar look here for Lore. The only difference is we will not have Glowfrosty lurking over towards A. Instead, all 4 members committed to getting on towards B quickly. And you see FaZe Black initially taking their defense from the A side of the map. Now they got to work through Krays at mid, which they do clean up pretty nicely. First tick trying to be worked on, but FaZe Black looking prime to try to re-hit this.
Little mental chess game. Never show the same thing twice as far as your offensive rollouts. First segment's going to get locked in here, but the pinch, at least through Dark Alleyway, will at least come through. FaZe Black wiped them off of the map, not losing a single life along the way. And that first segment at B, they didn't even get locked in. Brack's in a forward position all the way up top. He's just trying to keep these players trapped, spawning closer towards Ice Cream, but being able to take down Brack and Asim means that Lore Gaming can slowly maneuver out of their palace spawns.
It is one of those situations, though, you drop your first 5 lives without finding a single kill, you almost call round right there.
Pretty much.
How much pressure FaZe Black are quickly able to put on the map. But like you mentioned, Lore do find an exit and an entrance, for that matter, over towards the B zone. Good follow-up here from Geo. So now the live's just a 3-life gap. Kremp over the top really can't contest from this position. So him and Brack just kind of finessing their lives on the first tick of progress does get locked in.
Looking for more. Wiz pushes all the way up inside a treehouse. That is a big push coming through from Wiz, knowing that Brack was still up there. Just one player on the zone, though. This is a very slow progress on the second segment. It's going to give FaZe Black the opportunity to try to recontest it, but losing at least one more player along the way. Brack's just going to play a couple of exits. Kremp's going to set himself up in the middle of the map. They know that they need to trap them and not allow them to go over towards A.
Oh, and actually, a little bit of an aggressive route taken by Kremp off that spawn trap. He gets the one player from B off, so the clock will continue to tick away. And now it's just, you're fighting the war on 2 fronts again. Lore's got to get out of their spawn with just 2 members. You also need to find someone to get the extra 60 seconds, and it's gone from bad to worse in the blink of an eye. Kray's stuck over towards B tank, and the rest of Lore just can't get out of spawn. Exceed's got him absolutely in a headlock. A couple of the kills will come out, but again, that life gap has now all of a sudden grown back to 7, and there's just no chance that Lore, with any real focus, can go anywhere else besides this B point. Asim in the middle of the map does get dealt with, a chance to pause the clock at 5.6, and the stack is in. That'll be good for the extra 60, but only 12 lives remain.
Yeah, only 12 VV18, but again, one good push is truly all that it takes. Exceed playing cutoff inside a DVD alleyway, going to be able to at least find one. Add the 60 seconds added on towards the board. Now just under a minute left in this round. Can Lore Gaming somehow find the godlike timing to be able to collect these kills in the middle of the map and maneuver over towards A?
Whatever it is, it has to be perfect, and it needs to happen quickly.
Yep.
Brack will drop her on the backside of the B zone. Kremp, well placed over towards tank side. Glowfrosty, who's again on a heater, finds the kill for 4 in a row. 23 and 8 for Glowfrosty. Hell of a map 3 from him. Trade's favoring Lore. I mean, they're bringing this thing back once again. Off spawn, FaZe Black have the default to rotate through gas and set themselves up for a hard set A bunker.
When's the go button? Trying to at least collect on some of this information. Glowfrosty now up on 5 in a row. If he can just play for this cruise missile, that's going to end up putting this control a little bit too far out of reach. But no, Kremp shuts it down. Now just 10 seconds remain. 7 points up against 12, and Lore nowhere to be found to get close towards A.
Second time, Glowfrosty has just barely not been able to earn the cruise missile. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The FaZe Black defense, just too strong of a start. I mean, they killed 80 seconds off the clock, it felt like, right from the get-go at that 5-0 life advantage. So strong defense. But still, being down 2-0 means you've got to figure out what you're going to do on this next attack.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got to just be one round at a time, truly, for FaZe Black. I mean, at this point, with the combined 9 segments coming through for Lore, it is matchable for FaZe to actually get defense. Again, it favors to go towards segments unless it is even, and then it goes towards kills for that round 5. Only time will tell in this upcoming round for the offense. What is FaZe Black going to throw out here? Actually going to favor towards the middle of the map and try to maneuver their way over towards A, but Lore still with the standardized rollout trying to take mid-map first.
Well, Frosty just needs to read how many members are over here. Crazy's got a good angle on the cross. Good team shots coming through from mid-map. A little turn, and Geo gets the double. Finally taken care of, but Craze is right there in the same position. That'll be great follow-up, and Lore will shut down the additional attempts from FaZe.
And as you were talking about, again, you get the immediate cross. We were looking across that B-Dom area. And now for Lore, who have a fantastic opening break-off once again, can get Craze in that positioning. He's actually going to start pinching them back behind Ice Cream. He's got to get a good look at 2, does find the first. Can convey that information to his team that Brack is trapped, but he's still soaking up this progression and stalling out the clock.
And the bigger thing about this is FaZe Black also had a moment of forward pressure until Geo took care of both Exceed and Asim in the same breath. So now it has to be on the objective itself. Brack trying to finesse his life. He's calling for SOS. Any reinforcements, any help? Craze making sure that none of that will happen. I mean, he has just destroyed FaZe Black over towards their spawn. Now on 4 in a row. Knows where Kremp is, but doesn't get the regen off to actually give him a true battle. So 35 seconds on the clock. 4 life advantage for Lore, and this is kind of last chance saloon here for FaZe Black.
You really feel like that you need this fight to stick through the middle of the map. Good stuns, good nades, going to flush out Glowfrosty. Kremp rips Wiz apart. Now they have to clear all these interior buildings, and Geo's got himself a really good timing. Craze for 1, Geo for the second. Stops that A push dead in its tracks, but Exceed is still behind enemy lines.
B being worked on. Exceed. Oh, impressive kill onto Craze. So this should at least lock in the second tick of progress. Keep in mind that in this process, FaZe Black have almost completely reduced the steep life advantage that Lore Gaming had. Third tick of progress being worked on. Looks like with that flank on Geo being shut down, it should be an extra 60 seconds, and there's still a huge lifeline here for FaZe Black to find this offensive win.
You're only trailing by a single life. One good push, and you already have players pushing all the way back blue. Wiz is expecting this. Even going 1 for 1 in this regard would be good. Would sound the alarm for the rest of his team where to look. And from that cross being held by Geo, he just about saw all 3 players cross.
Yeah, Wiz immediately dealt with. Low Frosty trying to just hold on to this back coffee position. Exceed on 4 in a row, gets in towards Garage though. Just comes down to every single gunfight right here is everything for this attack approach for FaZe. You find good trades, you're on the A zone, no question.
Timing around the back. Exceed up on 4 in a row. How emphatic would a cruise missile be? Catches a player lacking inside of Ruggs. Exceed shot in the back. No cruise missile has been earned, but still with 2 more players to pinch alongside of Kremp off spawn.
Ray's able to find the first, lots of damage over to Wasim, but still the clock stops at 28.7. Brack by himself, a little bit of assistance from Kremp. First shot's good. Second follow-up, Glow Frosty able to reduce the pressure, and that will keep the clock on ticking. Exceed through mid-map. Could possibly be the last choice in terms of who can get towards A. Plenty of time for everyone else to try to assist on this, but you gotta get across the street as Exceed's cut down. Now it has to come through mid.
Exceed, Eager Beaver trying to cross over by the street before reinforcements arrive. Now just 10 seconds remain. FaZe Black nowhere to be found.
Here we go, Lore Gaming set themselves up at the last moment, and that will be enough for them to get on the board. A 3-1 tally, and I'll say again, that opening offense, there are some teams in CDL that could go back and take a couple of notes. That was super creative, and it eventually allowed Lore to get on the board.
They were just so patient, and they were playing a lot more reactive to what FaZe Black were throwing at them through the middle of the map, and it allowed them to get that competitive edge, specifically from their ARs. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, because Glow Frosty deserves his own conversation for what he just did in that map number 3, let me tell you. But that was just... I don't know if sloppy's the right way to put it when it comes down to FaZe Black, but almost just a little bit too eager in a lot of different situations. It is invasion control. You cannot just ego chow some of these ARs when they are just pre-aimed across these very long lines of sights. Geo 27 and 25, 5k damage, led the lobby in that category with 6 assists, 21 of those kills not traded. But how about Glow Frosty? Not once, but 2 different times did he go on those 5 streaks. 23 of those kills were not traded out of the 27 that he found.
Yeah, the assist totals also, again, super high. I mean, you got 4,700 damage from Craze, 27 to 25 with 5+ K damage for Geo. I mean, really everyone getting involved. Wiz was hitting a lot of routes, so his damage was not maybe as high as the others, but still very much so a heavy participant in how Lore was able to set up not just their opening offense, but a lot of great moments from him on the defensive pressure as well. So, okay, we've got ourselves a series all of a sudden. After 2 very convincing maps for FaZe Black, Lore Gaming say not so fast as they put together a very convincing result here on a very tough map, to be fair, especially, again, finding a way to be super successful on offense.
Yeah, again, invasion control is no easy feat. Again, it's very rare, you know, down here in Challengers do you see offensive conversions, but for Lore to come out in the opening round and to be able to find all the gunfights that they did through the middle of the map, and then transition that over towards A, the moment that that trophy system was earned, it just really did feel like that second segment was looking good. Just a mustachio's hair away from getting that third segment in their opening breakoff. And then they continue on with that in the next round on their defense by winning yet another breakoff. The consistency for Lore Gaming in this map number 3 was so good that I'm still asking myself this question: where was that the first map? You just got done playing 2 best of 5s.
There has to be some main stage jitters up there.
Maybe.
Flat out. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, being in the pit it brings its own set of challenges when you've got a bunch of people just surrounding you, literally on the back of your chair, watching you play over your shoulder. But when you put yourself under the lights with all of the bells and whistles popping off throughout everything that you're doing, it's a different experience without question. So Lore settling in a little bit. A convincing control leads us to a very interesting map 4. I think everyone out there has their own personal thoughts and feelings about Terminal Hardpoint, but the changes provide just extreme differences to what we've seen so far in the CDL on this map.
Yeah, listen, if you've been watching CDL throughout all this time, if you have not touched rank play, then Terminal's a little different. Just a little bit. That P4 Hardpoint is still a little bit of a head scratcher, getting a player inside of Burger Town, flipping the burgers back there on the griddle. Very difficult to uproot, but as far as the Hardpoint rotations are concerned, that's where a lot of the differences will come through. Security spawns are still very important. As we take a look at Wiz, his average placements, 9, just under 10 realistically
really
for his
good,
average placements, and then he did have that very nice run there at Champs, playing alongside of well, a team that he just got done taking down. So now that we have ourselves a breath of fresh air for Lore Gaming, can they continue on with the momentum here in this map number 4?
Will be FaZe Black spawning security side, so they're quickly able to get over in towards Library. Kraze down low, able to find at least a counteractive kill. Lore's still working on trying to play around the outside of Library, seeing what they could do to try to keep the pressure on FaZe Black off spawn, and the kills are great. Wiz, we highlight him. He comes out with an opening 2-piece. FaZe Black also pinched up, and with that, a chance for Lore to get to the hard point.
Good time to be soaked up here on P1 inside a bookstore. Again, what was formerly known as P5 is now P1. Big trades to find for yourself if you are FaZe, but Kraze just inside the hill alone is just able to find the kill. Spawns have now flipped and go through bottom security. That's where the new P2 is going to be located at. So you don't really want to throw too many numbers at this if you are FaZe Black, because you have to hold that bottom Eskies position.
And you can see all the ARs are just looking for long crossing angles. Kraze shuts down one side of the play. Asim gives away his position, so he'll have to back off and wait for a bit more support as we do rotate over. Lore looking to hit this straight through Eski's side. Good team shots coming out. Asim does get dealt with, and keep your eye on Kraze. Number 7 in yellow doesn't quite get over in towards AC. So FaZe read the response, and they put themselves in a great setup here on 2.
And keep your eyes on Kraze. Don't worry, Krem's got you. Playing cutoff. That AC positioning is annoying, to say the least, and especially for Asim playing just outside of long haul, just waiting for players to try to wrap all the way through terminal, try to get themselves inside a plane. That P3 is on the horizon, and FaZe Black setting themselves up comfortably for a full 60 here on 2.
3 in a row for Kremp. Good comms to help Brack get involved and keep his life. Stun, not quite able to hit, doesn't make a difference. Wiz still able to shut down the threat over towards this courtyard position. Looking over towards rotation. Lore just trying to feel things out through mid-map. Asim over the top of planners. Tough gunfight, still takes it versus Geo. And now the rotation has opened up for FaZe Black to move over to the map.
Yep. Moving over towards P3 now. And you have position Alpha as well as B, truly, if you are Lore. You got players lurking outside a bookstore trying to anchor their security spawns, one inside the hill. And then you have Geo. He's ready to pounce at a moment's notice on anybody that might need help.
Is this enough to move the spawns around? Where does Wiz pop up at? Oh my goodness, Wiz is on the other side of the map. Every gunfight has to come through now for Lore if they want to hold on to this setup. FaZe Black spawning over towards top Eskies can reinforce this quickly. Pinstripe kill feed means that, okay, here we go, right into the mix. FaZe Black trying to win that security spawn. They look like they have completely cleared it out, but Lore have gotten the first 30 seconds still.
Yep. Now you have to start asking yourself, how much do you want to invest into this fight if you are FaZe Black? Even though you might lose the lead, you don't want to be losing those security spawns with the Burger Town P4 on the horizon. Then just realistically hold on to these security spawns, but hey, why not? Porque no los dos. FaZe Black are able to break their way in towards the front. Geo snaps for 2 towards the pistol. The gunfight versus Brack rips his head clean off, but still security spawns there for FaZe Black. However, Lore have already snuck their way into Burger Town.
Spawns are moved once again. So FaZe Black over towards the Eski side. It just comes down to will Kremp keep his life. He is being hunted right now. Will Frosty set up, watching over towards Library. Trades looking decent, and yeah, that's a full clearance coming out for Lore. Just comes down to, do they deal with this threat over towards Library side with FaZe moving swiftly up Eskies?
It's got to be fast, and it needs to be timely alongside Asim, who's still inside a bookstore, just trying to find any sort of damage whatsoever. Shots that will at least come through from Kremp will unearth Geo. Probably not going to be spawning too similarly close to be able to re-insist this P4 area, but still spawn security.
Oh, and Kraze by himself. Oh my goodness, off the bench. Nearly shuts down the entire break attempt from FaZe Black. Follow-up good for the rest of the ARs. Asim able to at least keep the rotation in check, but a great rotation on Lore Gaming, moving from 3 to 4. Now we look over towards the far east side of the map, over towards the tarmac. FaZe Black trying to lock down every choke point.
Again, it was FaZe Black's hard point to lose when we were looking at P3 to 4. It's what I was talking about. How much do you want to invest into that breakover by P3? Because all you need is one swift kill feed if you are Lore, and then you're able to get yourself that money hill of P4. 132-271. Now moving all the way over towards the tarmac. Again, the spread is very good, but it is on a razor's edge. A clean kill feed again for Lore Gaming might just force FaZe to spawn out.
Blast control means top AC control as well. Kraze trying to hit a bit of a route. Moving around the back. Spawns, like you mentioned, have moved around. It's actually a bit of a conga line from the far side of the map, but FaZe Black get the read onto Kraze, and with that, they reestablish their setup.
Good repositioning coming through from Asim. That was top AC to at least make sure that they can still hold on to those back tarmac spawns. Exceed probably was aware that they were going to spawn back behind him, given the positioning that was being held by FaZe Black, but it still does not take them away from the hard point. Down to scrap time here at the end of the first set of hard points. FaZe Black looking pretty decent for it. Wiz tries to give himself a good shake for it. Takes down Kremp. Exceed there for the trade. Back 15 secured.
Call it what it is. Tie game pretty much coming into this next set of rotations, but Lore have this set up in and around books. Cramp Asim teaming up for the first elimination, front side glass. And the whole hit is moving through the Eski side of the map. Security spawns for Lore Gaming as the hardpoint opens up. Stun actually roots a lot of this hit from the front completely into place. Glowfrosty for the first, down low. Geo tried to take it off angle, but the kills continue to go back and forth, and it's Asim. Oh, I'm telling you, this guy gets in the mix and he thrives in it. 4 in a row and the break is good.
That's gross. Up on a 4 spree now for Asim. 12 and 9 to his name. A lot of time left to fight over here on P1. Security at least being anchored and looked at by Brack. He's going to get the timing in towards the back. A little bit of premature shots. The fight over the golf cart's going to be good to take down Wiz. He also has the info that he can convey to Cramp inside of the hard point. That player's still hitting long haul.
The help is just so quick for FaZe, isn't it? I mean, they are so quick to pick up on any vulnerabilities they have in their setup. So a huge swing here from 5-1. FaZe Black taking the command, 161-39. Looking over towards P2. FaZe Black looking to break this from the backside of plane, which means that Geo is the one defender in place to try to stop this.
Tough gunfight. Exceed throwing shoulders. Geo just holding pre-aim. We'll take him down. Rotation over towards New. Just about to come all the way through. Player number 3, Cramp, slides up top. It's going to take down Glowfrosty. What does that do for the spawns? Where do you end up spawning if you are Glowfrosty? Luckily enough, the trade comes through just in the nick of time from Geo. Glowfrosty spawns in.
Yeah, Wiz does a nice job, even though he falls, of making sure that there is no quick re-hit over from top Eski side. But FaZe Black get the high ground, looking to just swarm right in towards the hill. Glowfrosty dealt with. Last one left alive, though, will be Geo, and all of the threat from FaZe Black has been eliminated. Again, a little game of tug-of-war here as Lore Gaming is going to retake the lead.
That's the firm handshake that is Terminal Hardpoint at this moment in time. There's just no reason to try to contest for that back 30 seconds if you are FaZe Black. You just want to make sure that you can maintain those back security spawns. Big 1v1 for Glowfrosty if you could find it. Wouldn't have forced FaZe Black to spawn out, but it would have allowed them an avenue to maybe try to look at baggage claim to get themselves closer towards this ever so wanted security spawn. So 186, counting on up to the 175. FaZe Black looking to answer back here as P3 pops.
They don't really have the numbers in the setup that they want necessarily. First couple of kills make this opening break at them from Lore a bit messy, though, and now things start to get a bit more set up. Craze frontside books, keeps a position for Lore to try to set up how their break is going to move. Help coming from Eski's side, but there is a spawn out from Asim who's trying to pinch this quickly. It's just down to who can find the kills first, and FaZe Black find every single one, only losing one in the process, and that'll be enough to get the double sentry mark.
A timely spawn out for Asim, just bull rushes his way up escalators. Does have his work cut out for him, actually. He's still battling over by this bomb site, and well, at least going to be able to take down one. But it still means that all this time at this current hardpoint for FaZe Black has realistically gone almost uncontested. That's why we keep talking about how powerful those security spawns are for FaZe Black now over the double sentry.
And this is a tall hurdle to find yourself over if you're Lore. You have to break. Game could end very quickly here. Asim in trouble, though, actually has to give his position away over towards Burger. So this is a 50-50 battle right over the courtyard. Craze, Glowfrosty, Geo all looking for the break. Couple of wallbang shots received do connect. That slows things down as the hard point opens up. But all 4 members from Lore stacked up at the front. They're going to get the opening time for now. Cramp able to jump in, contest, looking for some toes to tag, and it's just the Mexican standoff. No one wants to make a move. Finally, Craze able to confirm a kill, but Asim right there for the trade. Here comes the fight for the hard point as everyone just continues just hoping there's going to be kills, and it's just no one wants to make a move.
And Glowfrosty throwing shoulders. He has become one with the pillar at this point. Now he's the last alive. Finally just happens. The gunfight was slow, but finally the kills come through. FaZe Black have broken in. They can close it out here.
What a wild battle, if you even want to call it that. Looked like World War I. Everyone just sitting behind cover, sitting in the trenches.
Reload.
Oh, man, and FaZe Black, after that break, will confirm the map win, but a tight one as we start to get to the late stages. Problem here is Lore find themselves now down 3-1, 1 map away from being eliminated.
1 map away from claiming their prize. That's going to be, of course, this Boston Open, a big old major victory for what FaZe have been looking at, dating all the way back to this team being created. 3-1 now the series score. It was a pretty good game of tug-of-war, I will say that much. It just comes down to some different timings, of course. It is Terminal Hardpoint at the end of the day, and when you're able to get those security spawns and be able to get yourself closer inside of P3, well, it becomes a little bit too far out of reach. But for me, in that first set, it mostly just came down to the veteranship that was being exemplified by that FaZe Black roster, just completely understanding that they need to play for the spawns over by P2, not overextending towards P3, and then end up playing for at least the majority of time that they saw there at 5. 20 and 18 out of Brack, 21 and 15 out of Kremp. The usual suspects showing up in a big way for FaZe Black.
And I think it just, I'm not sure who picked this map overall, but when you look at how Terminal plays, it's really easy just to look at it and say, whoever rotates is probably going to win. Yeah. So you look at that overall and you think that the experience, the veteranship that FaZe Black have, of course they're going to know that. And sometimes you'll find yourself in challengers playing up against just individually great players, and it's like, oh, we're just getting gunned. But when you play a map like Terminal, you're just controlling spawns, controlling how you're rotating and what timings you have. That's where you really find big blowout moments, and that's exactly what we saw in the late stages of that map number 4. But of course, we're in a best of 7 affair, so still a lifeline here for Lord. They've been great at search and destroy. They're going to have to really showcase that here once again. Otherwise, the heavy favorites at FaZe Black will do what they were built to do and win themselves a Challengers Championship. We'll be back. Don't go far. More Challengers after this.
The Painted Alebrije bundle is available now in the Call of Duty store. Inspired by the folk art of Oaxaca, this stunning bundle offers colorful, vibrant, and mythical items you gotta check out.
Welcome back to Boston and welcome to Championship Sunday, where we're not just crowning one champion, we're going to crown a second, and we're doing it right here, right now with the Challengers Grand Finals on main stage. I'm Michael Chip. With me, I've got Proper. And hey, we got to get some love to these two teams because it has been a long, grueling weekend over to the House of Blues, a chance to be showcased here on main, and of course, throughout the entirety of the weekend, the Fisher Esports guys helping put on the production. You were in the pit all day, pretty much from start to finish. It's been sweaty, to say the least.
It was like the first thing that came to my mind when I stepped inside the green room. I was like, man, I haven't been here since Thursday. I've just been existing in the House of Blues, just watching all of the Challengers matches. You say it's been a grueling weekend. It's been a morning already for Lore.
True.
Let's not forget that they had to show up, and then they played H-Town Spartans, that is, of course, Spartan, Prelude & Co., and then they just got done dealing with Cruz & Co. for that SGP roster. Eric Boom, of course, the substitute player for Miami Heretics, is representing on that roster as well. Only found one map so far, and it was a pretty convincing invasion control, all things considered. Yet the Hardpoints have been all but favored towards FaZe so far. 6-2 terminal search and destroy, and who's to say that history might not be doomed to repeat itself? We might be crowning our champion here on the invasion search.
The big thing about it is, again, I just have to say it because the results were hard to track, but when we were able to, it looked like search and destroy was going to be where Lore found their most amount of success. The first series, first map rather, I should say, in this series, it didn't look like they were settled in completely. Lots of missed opportunities on the terminal. We were letting Exceed get behind us way too easily. That has to change here, not only because this is possibly your last chance to have a go at a championship, but in particular, you have to show us what you've got in search and destroy. I think there's a lot of teams in the CDL that are very much so going to value what these players individually do on the map 2, map 5. So Invasion will be the locale for us, and for FaZe Black, they are one away from living out what they were built to do, win a championship early on in this season. See if they can make dreams come true here right at the get-go.
It'll be interesting. Again, long lines of sight. We already gassed up what Brack was able to do last season, what we got to see out of that terminal search and destroy from Carson. This map, you almost feel like it was made for him. Offense first for FaZe Black, warning shots across the map, information traded.
Craze pretty much on an island here, playing over towards what is the old P1. Frosty making sure he just gets a couple of checks over towards A Street. But for all intents and purposes, no one wants to make a first move to this point. Krem thinking about it. Does that door get heard being popped open? Craze is ready for it. First blood good, but the trade does come through. We'll go 3v3.
Bomb not drop. Brack gonna start maneuvering past B Dom. Might be thinking about pushing inside a DVD alleyway. Exceed's getting a lot of information, but he doesn't like the push so far. So a lot of time to try to make this decision.
Silence echoes over Invasion to this point. Lots of doubt here as Lore just kind of holding their individual lanes. Nothing's been seen yet, but maybe an idea that this is going over towards A. Brack getting the bomb down. Frosty not quite able to take him through, and everything resets. 3v3 post plant.
Exceed just waiting for the push to come through that B lane, but it's all realistically actually coming through P4. Gio's just waiting for the check. Brack, he knows he needs to check this sometime soon, and Gio needs to get this kill.
Have to have it right here, but oh, a couple of wall bangs don't finish off Brack. Follow up though from Wiz. Oh, he gets shut down on the pinch. Oh, complete fumble here from Lore Gaming, trying to bait out this FaZe Black post plant. Now it's just down to Gio. Gets the first cleanly. Second also given to him. 1v1 over the backside of the tank. He needs to find it. Need to find it quickly. Shots come through. Exceed not going to double check it, and there's no time for the defuse. Exceed will just force the gunfight because why not? And a little bit extra, Caden. Okay. Moans and groans across the venue for a first round little body shoot.
How are you surprised? I mean,
that's true. It is kind of
your first time seeing Exceed play the game. Like, come on, he's up on serious point. Hey, give him a little bit extra at the end of that. But I'm not gonna lie. That post plant was something.
Yeah.
You end up forcing out the 3v3. You end up playing in a position to at least watch the longer line of sight that could be that B cutoff. You have the assistance for Brack that he has to check the bomb out through the backside of Hotel. Chef's kiss. Love to see it. The response would be tippable, to say the least, out of Lore on their opening offense.
Defensively for FaZe Black, a little bit of aggression here over towards mid-tank. Trophy system will keep Exceed nice and safe. Lore Gaming, early eyes towards B. Kremp on the aggressive crossing check over through Dark, so this will be the first obstacle here for Lore if they do commit to trying to play forward.
Oh, Kremp. He's gonna get a lot of information, though, through Dark. Doesn't get challenged to at least get the kill. He did have some assistance there from Exceed if required. Nate over the top is gonna get damaged. He's gonna go for the challenge, but that's not the player that was weak. Big first blood for Gio.
You still have Frosty on an island as well. He's making sure no one lurks up A Street. Thing is, Asim could possibly still hit this flank. You've got a crossing check from Exceed. Brack, next one up. Only able to find one, just did not hold down the trigger. Lots of damage, though. Confirmed the nade will make sure the trade comes out. So we'll go 2v2. Here's the position for Asim. Not able to win the gunfight versus Geo, surprisingly enough. Looked like he had the jump on him. And now we'll go to a 1v2 for Exceed trying to convert.
They don't know where he repositioned to. He's up on the God Wall. He's going to take down Glowfrosty. Bomb has been dropped over by Cage. And Geo's trying to push for the trade. Exceed is valuing his life. Back-to-back 1v1s. What's the timing looking like? Geo's going for the chase.
This is bold. This is where it's walled open. Oh, as he checks it. Yeah, we see you. You're not going to go ahead and body shoot and have that in response there, young man.
I love the business casual face coming out from Geo as well. I mean, again, it was an egregious call to try to chase out for the kill, but he trusted the information that he got from his teammate that he, in fact, repositioned through Palace. And sometimes you do get baited, of course, from those death screens. But regardless of the matter, Geo just trusting his gunny, trusting that he can win the gunfight, gets that plus the round win. And I love that coming through for Lore. 5-1 now for Geo. Had himself a great first 2 rounds here.
At this point, we just do this like ancient Greek style. Send out your best warrior versus our best warrior. Just have Geo and Exceed 1v1s for the search and destroy.
1v1 on the B-Dom.
Kraze playing forward on B-Dom in particular, just holding onto the dumpster. SMG in hand for him. He's going to have some rotating support from either Geo or Glowfrosty, whoever decides to give him a little bit of assistance. And FaZe Black are going to try to feel things out over towards mid-lobby. Haven't seen anything yet, but this looks like they're trying to figure out, is Kraze still playing the same position he had last defense?
And this is part of the annoying part of facing a player like Kraze. That stun's going to connect. They know that there's going to be a player lurking around B-Dom, but what corner is he in?
Yeah, they think he's behind Tank. So do they actually try to push through this? Kraze still holding the angle. Still no dedicated rotate from Lore over from the B side of the map. Glowfrosty just continued to go back and forth over top of Park, and yeah, Nazim's trying to isolate over towards Tank side. Kraze able to go 1-for-1. That's fine. Defense can now move.
Yep, Brack recovers the bomb. Trying to maneuver over towards A. Kremp's currently trying to create a little bit more space, but Glowfrosty's holding the bridge. Very tough to be able to watch that cross, but Exceed has moved his way up towards that B, S, and D.
Beautiful read. Knowing that Glowfrosty's playing towards bridge side, you take your 3v1 over towards the B side. So now Wiz has to check this from Ice Cream. No commitment for the plant yet. If Wiz could take down the bomb carrier, he could single-handedly win the round. What a challenge from Wiz. Was there enough time? It was really close. Brack holding for the plant and just barely gets it down. So now Glowfrosty 1v2.
Gonna reposition all the way through Hotel. So much space he has to clear. The only known information is going to be Brack. He was on the BS and D. He was the bomb planter. But where the hell did Kremp go? He's all the way to the backside of P4 through the courtyard. Wonderful execution coming through for FaZe Clan Black and put themselves in a position to know what was their biggest problem to be able to take that AS&D in their opening offense.
Yep.
They have to find where Kraze is located at. So they send 2 players through Hotel. They flush him out from that stun. A trade is fine. And then once they have the numbers advantage, as you wonderfully pointed out there, Alan, you take that numbers advantage and you bring it over towards B.
Wiz gave him a go. I mean, 0.4 seconds was the difference between a possible clutch-up moment. So FaZe up 2-1. Look at this setup for the defense. 3-man hit through bus. Glowfrosty, the only one in position, number 8 in yellow. And I don't think he has any idea. No, sure does. It gets completely caught by surprise. But do they get the read of how many players push up? Because you can still plant this and hold a really solid post plant.
Exceed. Watching the cross. Wiz elects to drop the bomb just outside of B. They need to get Exceed out of that position. Kraze delivers on the good.
That is so brilliant from Wiz. Dropping the bomb, pushing through Ice Cream. Geo gets stunned, so he knows that there are players on this flank. So we get a 3v3 post plant, and now essentially the map is just flipped. Offense playing from the defensive side and vice versa. Here comes the full surround from FaZe Black. Stuns, they think that he's up top. Not the case. Smoke comes through. This is getting a little messy here for FaZe. They just cannot find Geo. He is out of there. A little rascal. Just chase me if you want to. A little cat and mouse game. And this is taking so much time. Finally, Geo gets dealt with, but he may have done his job right there by killing about 20 seconds off the clock. Now Asim over the top. Nice shots towards Kraze, but he keeps his life. 2v2. Here comes the pinch, though, from Brack. 1v1 with Wiz. Wins the first one. Now to the pistol. Not going to work. work out. Just enough time for a defuse and a 3-1 tally for FaZe.
Yeah, just with maybe about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds to spare for FaZe Black. Again, that's what you have to do, I guess, when you defensively roll out and just rush a street. I guess. You got that first blood, but you allowed that BS&D to be looked at so freely from Lore. And as we already pointed out from Wiz, I mean, Search and Destroy is quite literally his wheelhouse. Just to be able to drop that bomb, go for the challenge, take down Exceed alongside his teammate, plant that sucker, but with the timing in the favor for FaZe, they end up sending one player around the pinch over by Ice Cream to allow the other teammates to pinch over by Cage. A wonderful retake, albeit with a few seconds to spare.
Just needs to be noted, we talked about this a couple maps ago, talking how FaZe Black, so many veterans, would they be finding themselves in a position of too many cooks in the kitchen? I'll say Asim has kind of taken the general hat. Every time we get to his camera, he's the one kind of calling things through, and that's an important note, I think, for possible CDL prospects for players and teams who may need the addition of what Asim could bring to the table. Back into the round, though, we go. 3-1 tally. Offense looking to kind of make its way through A Street again, but look at the aggression here from Lore. All 4 players trying to stack up through mid-DVD.
Exceed. Playing shoulders. Through top treehouse. Oh. It's not the eye contact we were looking for, but there's 2 players over there, and Exceed just elects to reposition as his bomb is slowly being executed over towards A. The smoke comes through. It's going to allow Kremp to push all the way over by bridge.
Yeah, this post plant would be disastrous if the bomb could get planted towards street side. Kraze moving forward takes away that opportunity. Well done, just from a battle of positioning. The rest of Lore, though, have to fight this from mid-tank, and Kremp is deep. I mean, deeper than deep. Glow Frosty. Okay. Does get taken down. Took a little bit longer than you would have expected, but Kraze is still in a position to watch this plant. It's a full wrap back over towards B, and Lore are now stuck mid-map.
Oh, this is silly. Exceed, he ended up repositioning through the middle of the map to take a look at that BS&D lane. They lose a seam along the way, but that bomb needs to be planted, running out of time.
Mystery on both sides. Here comes the hit through Dark. Wiz gets the first, traded by Kremp. Bomb not planted, just gonna come down to the kills, and Lore will find the eliminations needed to get themselves to a 3-2 count.
And no shenanigans here. All right. What started off to look like a really disgusting A execute, and try to fully rewrap that all the way in front of Palace, trying to flip the map, but oh man, they almost got away with it too. But still, Lore shut it down. They bring this back within 1. Just got to realistically find a value for Kraze, who keeps on finding different positions on defense. But offense has been going back and forth. It's been going down to just about 10 seconds before the round ends, before the bomb actually does get planted. What does Lore elect to do here on their offense?
Glow Frosty just looking for long-range engagements over towards A. Same can be said for Kraze to the middle of the map. Nothing too peculiar here from either side setup. You do have Kremp looking to get a bit of a later route towards his front side at Treehouse, so he will be a bit of an issue while he's got support from Brack at range, and Lore have not committed to this yet, still trying to feel it out.
It'll be a full 3v3 over by the BS&D. Unbeknownst to Lore, they want to try to fight through the middle of the map where Exceed has head glitches galore. And the bomb has now completely repositioned to get inside a hotel. This might just have to be an A execute.
Glow Frosty's got the superior angle. He's here first over towards A Street. Asim can only do so much. Could be a chance to plant here. The problem would be, can we get more damage over to Exceed? Get him to shrug off this angle. There's the intel. Kraze stepping forward, has now 1 mid-tank. But still, lack of confidence if they can actually get this bomb planted or not. Finally, a commitment from Wiz.
Oh, they don't know where he is. Exceed just waiting for the execute, waiting for the retake potentially. Starting to march a little bit forward though. Wiz finds that first blood onto Exceed. That bomb needs to get planted.
Long route from Kremp, maybe what FaZe Black defensively need to break down this setup. It looks like they're looking for him. Lore seemed to have an idea that he's back here somewhere, somehow. Yep, there's the confirmation. Kraze does still get taken down. 3v3, quick isolation trying to come through, but Kremp keeps his life. Keep your focus back over towards the bomb site now. Yeah, Brack's making his first move. You've got Geo in freezer, playing from behind the door. He's got to pop it. Able to do so just perfectly as the first attempt for the defuse comes out. Back and forth we go. 1v1. Glow Frosty. Asim not going to find an angle right through the fire truck. That's good for the kill, and now we're tied up at 3.
Hell of a time to show up to get your first few kills if you are Glow Frosty. In a massive way, as you were already talking about, that ever so tussle that was going across the water street between Glow Frosty and Asim just had to accumulate to Glow Frosty getting up towards that fire truck. Once he gets in that superior positioning, as you were talking about, it meant that the bomb could then wrap back over towards AS&D. And I gotta say, the mental warfare that's been going on between Craze and Exceed on who's in what position around B-Dom has been very fun to watch. Craze getting the better of him that time around helped Wiz find that first blood for the AA execute.
It's like trading pawns until finally you can put yourself in a position to take some power pieces. Glowfrosty now right back over towards mid-tank. Good look at Kremp. Can't find the kill, but at least a little bit of information saying Phaser playing over the middle of the map. No rotation yet. Craze is playing just a different angle here, watching over the A site very avidly.
Nobody's over by bridge, so Water Street could just be the push that Brack's going to be looking for. Now, you never want to count out that someone's laying prone behind the truck.
Yeah.
Craze, well, this is now position number 5. Just playing in a one-off angle here by AS&D.
Oh, and he sees 2 players cross. He just needs to keep his life. Good support over the top. Lots of damage being tallied. Craze stunned, naded, but keeps his life. And now look at the defensive rotation. Lore are very aware that this waterside street is completely open for FaZe Black to use. First kill also tallied for FaZe Black as they kind of measure their approach, back up, and now keep their focus over top of A.
Quad AR setup coming through for FaZe. They're trying to cut them down as they're rotating on over towards the AS&D. Geo, stunned, not going to connect with anything, but the bomb is very much still lurking towards A.
And it looks like Lord is saying, let them have street. Time's ticking. We got to make sure they just don't plant, but the problem is mid-map is also being avidly watched, and FaZe Black find the kills. Flawless round coming through for their 4th.
And there's that adjustment, again, coming through from FaZe on an offense, no less. Just quad ARs just trying to get themselves in a position to be able to watch all those different crosses. Once you end up at least seeing that, well, there's nobody over by bridge. Brack was holding that pre-aim since realistically the beginning of the round. Puts himself in a position to be able to get in a better position to be able to watch the crosses and exits as everybody was leaving Palace and over by the BS&D. And Asim, as you were talking about, General Hat is on, commanding the troops, who are just now a handful of rounds away from being the Boston Open champion.
Interesting break-off here for FaZe Black. Double hit over through Dark. Aggressive trophy system also comes into play, so Kremp's looking for an opener, but does not catch Lore Gaming by surprise. Quick first blood tallied, and now FaZe Black have to kind of really retreatedly back up, find a setup in some form because they are all over the map.
It seems just reaction to losing Kremp as that first blood. Tries to get up through B-Dom, be able to cut down players, maybe inside of blue. Might catch an awkward timing versus Glowfrosty, who's currently inside of Rugs, just trying to see where Asim might have relocated at. Even with the numbers advantage, this is invasion, search, and destroy. So many more corners need to be cleared before you can execute towards B.
Lore making their move, cleaned out Dark. Now they've got B-Tank. Shots coming out from Exceed. Brack still hiding, but no, Wiz very quick to find the kill. Good team shots coming out for Lore. That will immediately lead to a plant. Asim trying to play off of a flank, but same can be said for Glowfrosty. Oh my goodness, Exceed's damage at range nearly took him out of the picture, but in the same breath, the players from on top of the bomb clean things up, and we stay tied up at now 4.
They were going to lose that round regardless, but I'm not going to lie, if Exceed gets that kill, that centering was zany, to say the least, but really good execute coming through this time around from Lore Gaming. Again, this has been slowed down realistically to a snail's pace. Even when that first blood was found, Lore are not just going to run and execute over towards any sort of bomb site because there's still so much more information, so many different corners that you have to clear. So definitely things that you love to see. Them working through a lot of these strategies and trying to download what FaZe Black are throwing at them defensively. Now we'll switch sides once again. Even Stevens in round number 9.
Traditional double stack defensively over the top of B for Lore. Craze right back to doing whatever he wants at mid, and this time Glowfrosty says, no one's coming down Water Street without me looking at you. So he'll play on top of the bridge, and this is a very default setup for Lore.
Very reactionary for Lore. Back over towards the middle of the map for Wiz just to see if anybody's going to cross over. He's going to exchange pleasantries with Asim at range. Now all 4 players for FaZe Black looking towards this B lane.
Yeah, I like the aggressive positioning for Geo on this B tank just to kind of pop up, see if he can see numbers, tally them up, and then make the call because Craze is on an island. He's got no help in any form, so he's the one vulnerability for Lore's setup if he gets surprised. But now that he can hold over towards Dark Alley, kind of watching 2 things at once. Heavy flooded stack here for FaZe. Stack in the box, front side B. Just comes down to, do they actually commit to this play? Here comes the move. Geo, lots of damage, can't confirm a kill. Now he's looking to be isolated. Stun comes out, avoids the gunfight, but not quite for long enough. Lore have to make the rotation.
Glowfrosty hadn't seen anything for a whole minute. He repositions just at the most wrong time.
Yeah.
And as he's trying to get past AS&D, he gets gunned. FaZe Black setting up a little bit of a trap all the way over by Treehouse and inside of blue, putting themselves up now up on championship point. And I was really starting to wonder, I was looking at player number 8 constantly for lore. That's Glowfrosty, who was over by Water Bridge, just putting himself in a position to at least watch AS&D, to watch that Water Street push. Didn't see anything, again, for about 45 seconds. He repositions to look past P4 in the middle of B-Dom. Didn't see anything again, repositions because he thinks that it might go over towards 8. You should know in that moment that it's probably realistically looking over towards a BS&D push, but the trap just too good. FaZe Black 1 round away.
Have to have it for lore, 2 rounds in a row. FaZe Black double stack over towards mid tank initially. Not going to see much. Kremp with a sub in hand this time. May want to push the issue, and boy, will he ever. Oh my goodness, this could be how he wins a championship. Timing is going to be everything here, though. Nades over the top from his teammates. Here's the push. Kremp for the first, looking to double down, but very wisely backs off. Craze able to confirm 1 trade, but again, the utility so good for FaZe Black. Glowfrosty does confirm the trade eventually. We'll go to a 2v2.
Bomb dropped. Exceed. Looking for more space. Geo looking to collect. Oh, big gunfight to take for yourself, young man. But Brack there for the trade. 1v1.
Brack just holding his position. Does Glowfrosty have the discipline to know that Brack is still here? He's still looking over the top of this cross. But he's the one who has to make the first move. Bomb collected. Brack still tucked in a corner. And Glowfrosty very quietly just says, not all that interested. I'm just going to get out of here if you don't mind.
I don't like what you're selling, Carson. I'm leaving. So a lot more corners to check, but realistically, it's just Dark Alley that you have to be worried about. Bomb's gonna get planted. Where's Glowfrosty go in this post plant 1v1?
Maybe more importantly, what route does Brack want to take? Long angle, shots come through, but Glowfrosty stays alive. No utility for Brack to play with. This has to, again, just be a reset 1v1. And Brack is getting aggressive. Thinking that Glowfrosty is going to stay stationary, but no. Glowfrosty's also on the move. 24 seconds on the clock. Glowfrosty checks the bomb. No one's defusing. He can reset for at least another 7.5 seconds. Goes prone just outside DVD. Brack on the cross. I think Glowfrosty's just seen him. Yeah, he's backed off. 15, now down to 10 seconds. Brack would have to make the play. Glowfrosty to check. The shots almost land, but time would have been a bit of an issue. We've got ourselves around 11.
Glowfrosty, 1v1. Caught Brack a little lacking, just expecting for him to solo execute over towards B. Wonderfully done from the information that he found for himself. Repositioning in and around DVD, out of hotel, just trying to at least see where Brack was located at. Oh, man. It's getting closer and closer to around 11 we will go. And realistically speaking, I mean, what do you even try to throw at them? Because I honestly thought that Kremp's ace was going to be that S&D. Play with the SMG. I thought that honestly he was going to find a little bit more. The bait and switch didn't work out. What do you do here?
And I think that's really important to ask the question to Lore in particular. Again, have not ever seen a main stage. No players have graced the CDL. So round 11 to stay alive in Challengers Grand Finals here in Boston. Do you keep your cool? Do you trust what you've been able to build? A team that's been together for a week and a half. First shots towards Brack, decent damage, but Brack stays alive. No isolation comes through. That smoke will allow Craze to cross. Brack still finds the first blood. Trade comes out. Back and forth we go, but the bomb is down, and now we have a 2v3.
Glowfrosty's nowhere near this play that's starting to manifest for itself, so Geo needs to hold his time. Timing is everything going to be going across the AS&D. Big 1v1 to come through in the middle of the map if Asim wants it.
I don't know if Asim saw him.
No, he didn't.
Pretty positive Glowfrosty at least caught a whiff of Asim out in this movement. Just comes down to which check. Indeed, you check. Asim gets the kill. Just down to Geo. 1v3. Have to have it. And he's so worried that Asim is going to collapse at mid-map. But it's slipped away. First one's going to be free. Exceed. Backs up over towards Ice Cream. Actually, he's going to play on Tractor. Geo surely checks this. Trophy system down. Shots on both sides starting to land. Exceed still at full HP, and he knows he's got an advantage, but it's a nade over the top. And FaZe Clan Black will be your first Challengers Major champions, all 4 members from the CDL, hoping this is the next step to getting back to fame.
It was a mission statement when this team formed all the way at the beginning of the year. Once we knew that Challengers Circuit was coming to Boston, they knew what they wanted. They wanted this main stage performance. And boy, howdy did they ever get it. Exceed 3 opening tournaments in a row through his career. It was going to be a tough ask, to say the least. These 4 players, again, have been here constantly. Commiseration, sure, to this Lore Gaming roster, but let's call a spade. Nobody had them making it this far in the first place. They kept on upsetting team after team. The teams that they were facing kept on getting better and better. They should be very proud about this moment in time. But FaZe Black, you're Boston Open champions.
Yeah, it's commiserations, but also a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Without question. We'll spend more time talking about that. But first, of course, we got to get the flowers over to FaZe Clan Black. Like we kept mentioning, they were built to do this. All 4 players, huge. And I would say, again, individually last year in the CDL, were all great. Just found themselves in some really tricky positions. But champions once again with a chance at the CDL. Boston giving them some love. We got Blaze standing by for our championship moment.
Thank you so much, Shift and Prosper, for the cast. Boston, give it up for FaZe Black, your challengers champions. And now I got the coaches here of the Boston Breach out to help present these masks. Give them a round of applause yet again as they pass out the trophies. All right, let me get up in here real quick. Let me pass the mic on down.
Gotcha.
Exceed.
I'm starting. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, you're going to start with me right now.
Baby.
How you feeling right here? All 4 of you last year were here in the CDL, but now dominated challengers. What does this win mean for you guys right now?
I think it means a lot. You know, everybody here, we have each other's backs. And for us, we all think that we deserve to be in the league. Mm-hmm. And so we're here proving our point. And, you know, it's amazing. It was an amazing event. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of upsets and challengers. But, I mean, we knew coming into this event that we were the best team and that we just had to show it.
And I think they did show it, did they? They did. Pass the mic on over to Brock. Man, how does this one feel for you, coming away with this dub, with this new squad, and being back on top here?
Yeah, no, I mean, it feels really good. We put in a lot of work behind the scenes. Mayhem, our coach, too, he should get a lot of love as well. But, yeah, I mean, we made it through winners. We pretty much dogged everyone through challengers. So, but, yeah, it feels really good.
It definitely does, definitely does. Pass the mic on over to ASIM. Let me talk to you, man.
The love is real right now.
It
Let's
really
go.
is. It really is. How does this feel right here, being able to come away and get this win here?
Oh man, it just feels great to actually win this year. You know, I had a lot of L's last year. Obviously, it was a really tough year, but I'm glad we came out with the dub. Shout out to FaZe Clan, shout out Zuma, shout out Los for the FaZe Black. It's an honor. It's an honor to represent FaZe.
There you go. There you go. And lastly, pass it on over to Crimp. Crimp, talk to me about what this team means for you, how the coach has helped you, and how does it feel to win here in Boston?
I mean, man, we made a mean, like, we all came out of the league last year, so we're like, it feels good to come back to Boston and win the actual challenger event. So, I mean, to be honest, the feeling's surreal. That's the first time winning an event, so.
Definitely does, definitely does. Boston, give it up for FaZe Black yet again. Your challengers champions. Shift, Prosper, take us away.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have said it any better, obviously, themselves. The individual talent on the squad, obviously super potent. But again, we got to take a moment just with this. The runner-ups, they went through a steep lower bracket run. Guys that had never seen a main stage, never seen the CDL, and I think all 8 players had shown at different moments in time throughout this grand finals that they could absolutely be options.
Well, that's putting it lightly, considering some of the names that they had to end up going through for Lore Gaming. I mean, just even this morning alone, you completely upset what is SGP Syndicate that wanted to end up getting their revenge, of course, from not only Cup 1, but also what happened yesterday in Winners Finals. Yeah, I think that this Lore Gaming roster not only should stick together, but they're going to be a real problem should they continue on to learn and grow together. On
the same front, though, FaZe Clan Black starting off a possible long run of Challengers dominance. Elite 1 starts in the middle of February, so of course, we got to make sure you guys are tuning into it. It'll be on Wednesdays and Thursdays, as it always is. Make sure you're tossing some love over to Challengers. But now we got to gear up for the main event. Minnesota and Optic going to start off this championship Sunday in the CDL, and the Green Wall's already primed up and ready to go. When we come back after the extended break, we'll set things up for the CDL to come to its Major 1 conclusion. We'll be back after this.